Brothers and sisters, as you can note, there's a theme there of water in this passage, which brings us back to the Samaritan woman 2 weeks ago, and also to a man who is sick, as it did this past Sunday for Letare, which shows us that the church intentionally is choosing these readings to move us towards where? Easter. It wants to bring us close to the great fountain of the Paschal season, where we, during the Easter Vigil, are going to experience baptisms, confirmation, first communion. So it is the place where the Lord is inviting us to take up our mat and walk. Because the first thing we have to realize for sure is that we are all sick. We all need God's healing in some way or form. A couple weeks ago, I said that we are all the Samaritan woman who needs to be found by Jesus at the well, where he can give us that living water. We are all also the blind man whom we heard about this past Sunday, who because of sin, because of our lack of love and sincerity, we have gone blind. And we're not able to see God's promises, God's blessings, and God's Spirit in us and in those around us. So that's why Lent is so important, because it brings us forth to an opportunity to renew, to reset, to restart our life in God's path. And talking about God's path, that's something that St. Patrick did for the church in Ireland. And the Lord continues to do through the devotion of the saints in the United States and throughout Africa, and even in my home country, El Salvador. Who would know that we would celebrate St. Patrick's, right? Some people celebrate it for the wrong reasons. Obviously, it's kind of like a time of Lent when we can celebrate a feast and get a little tipsy. Well, that's not the reason to celebrate St. Patrick's. That's the wrong reason to mess up during Lent all the intentions that you've had. But nonetheless, what did St. Patrick's do that has transformed the church in Ireland and in other places where the devotion continues, as in a number of places where people from Ireland have shared their faith? One is this little shamrock. His teaching was simple. He used a little leaf to reveal the greatest mystery there is in the church, the Trinity. People have a difficulty understanding the Trinity, and Patrick just came up with a shamrock, and he said, well, this is simple. 3 different leaves put together, the Trinity. And with that, he converted thousands of people, and that's why we use green for St. Patrick's, because of the shamrock. But the second reason is probably my favorite one. You want to hear it? Yes or no? You better. You must. You don't have a choice. Thank you, though, for being positive and telling me you want to hear it. And we all need of prayers. We all need of accompaniment. We can't do this alone. One of the reasons why we have a church, where we have a communion, where we come together day after day, and the reason why we celebrate this Mass is so that we can get to your house, is that you know that you're not alone, we're with you. And you need our prayers, and we need your prayers and your support. St. Patrick's discovered that he couldn't do his mission throughout Ireland, the place that put him into slavery, without a breastplate. And this prayer is one of those that I just love to do anytime I'm going into a situation that I know that things are going to get a little tough. When I can't make the right decision, this is a prayer that I always like to make before I go to bed, when I'm struggling with a decision or with temptations. Just inviting God, Christ, be with me. Christ, before me. Christ, behind me. Christ, in me. Christ, beneath me. Christ, above me. Christ, on my right. Christ, on my left. Christ, where I lie. Christ, where I sit. Christ, where I rise. Christ, in the heart of every man who thinks of me. Christ, in my mouth. In every man who speaks of me. Christ, in every eye that sees me. Christ in every ear that hears me. I love that. Isn't that a beautiful prayer? But what is it? If you want to, Patrick was simple, right? So I'm a Capuchin, I'm a Franciscan, so I'm even more simple. This prayer is nothing else than the most powerful sign that Catholics do. What is it that we do day by day? How do we start? How do we end Mass? In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. What he did was expanded the sign of the cross that comes from heaven to earth, that goes from east to west, putting it all around him. And that's a beautiful way of living your life. And as St. Paul says, it's not I who lives in me, it's Christ who lives with me. And that's what St. Patrick teaches us. He reminds us that God is all around us at all times in our lives. So today, allow me to wish you a blessed, a glorious St. Patrick's Day. If you're in a nursing home, well, there's no drinking there, but you can do a lot of praying. If you are imprisoned, there's no drinking there. So what can you do? Enjoy time with your fellow mates and friends that you have imprisoned. If you're out in the streets today and you're thinking, oh, let's go party, I tell you, go party. But please, don't sin. There's ways of having fun that are glorious to God, in ways that you can go to church, in ways that you can pray and celebrate something dignified with your family and your friends, something that is not sinful, but something that is grateful to God and to the memory of St. Patrick. May God bless you.